sunshine came softly through my window today. Could have tripped out easy, but I've changed my way. It'll take time, I know it, but in a while you're gonna be mine, I know it. We'll do it in style.
The water speed record is the last major speed record that Britain holds. 10 years ago, we held all three, land, water, and air. If we just sit down and do nothing, the Americans will also have that.
When you're piloting this boat, are you aware of the razor edge on which you're living?
Very much.
What effect does this have on you?
Well, it depends, you know, it depends on the exigencies of the moment. This boat can get pretty hair-raising.
Saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
Soames, do you remember the day I agreed to marry you? I promised then to do my utmost to be a good and loving wife to you, and I've tried to keep that promise. Oh, my God, Soames, how I've tried.
Been very little sign of it.
But you made a promise, too. You said that if our marriage weren't a success, you'd let me go. Is it a success?
It would be. You behaved yourself.
Will you let me go?
How can I? We're married. Well, now, don't talk such nonsense. Never, do you hear me? Never again. I won't put up with it.
Don't you understand? Do you still refuse to believe it? I loathe you, Soames.
Catch your dreams before they slip away. Dying all the time. Lose your dreams and you will lose your mind. Ain't life unkind? I'm a man, yes I am, and I can't help but love you so.
I think the main problem now, certainly, is this interfactional fighting between the Clossy and NLF, and we have to sit in the middle and still be impartial. Of course, impartiality when you're dealing with just one side is quite a reasonable thing to explain and put into practice. Not so easy when you've got two sides.
It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Me and you. Just take two. It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Make a dream come true. Just take two. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy.
I reckon it's unhealthy because it corrodes a lot of dust and all that. I can't tell one from the other. I see nothing wrong in it.
Only an exhibitionist would cultivate this sort of style.
I think they're a load of puffs.
We have more boys than girls in every age group, right up till 44 in the population today.
It seems to me that boys, in effect, are now being the birds, the male birds. They are, if you like, being the peacocks.
The old idea of the man as the warrior, the fighter, all this is not the slightest bit attractive today. Men are quite proud today of tenderness, of insight, of understanding. The role of the male and the role of the female it seems to me, are now almost interchangeable.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn, and nobody's right if everybody's wrong. The young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Every time we stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
John Buckingham looks over his shoulder, sees there's no danger, ears pricked.
She said there is no reason, and the truth is plain to see. But I wander through my playing cards and would not let her be. I one of 16 Vestal virgins who are leaving for the coast. And although my eyes were open, they might just as well have been closed. And so when as the man told his tale, that her face at first just ghostly turned a wider shade of pale.
Why are you wearing those feathers? Why are you wearing that suit?
The hippies called themselves the Love Generation. Their advice is drop out and turn on. The movement's concentrated on the western seaboard of America, here in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. No one knows just how many. One estimate is 20,000 full-time hippies and about the same on a weekend basis.
It's called a love-in, and it is a gathering of the tribes.
But what's the common belief of these tribes, Doc? what
There's no
brings
common
them all
belief. Let's say that there is an agreement to search together.
For?
Can't answer that. We can't name it, because if we name it, we limit it, and if we limit it, we lose it, because by its very nature, it is unlimited.
We tell young people today, don't vote, don't go to school. All of our schools in this country, and I suspect in England and the Commonwealth as well, are paid for by middle-aged parents who want their children to become robots like them. Is the aim of education in England or the United States to make people Buddhas and to recognize their divinity? I don't think so. Drop out of school, because schools, education today, is the worst narcotic drug of all.
We're starting a new era, sweeping around as a kind of reaction to various things that have been happening in the world. It manifests itself in love and sweetness and kindness and flowers, and we're not initiating anything so much as portraying what is happening.
The hippie movement might have been ignored, like their predecessors, the beatniks, but for one thing, the drugs issue, and their belief that there should be freedom for those who want to take the so-called soft, consciousness-expanding drugs.
To the God Shiva, God of meditation, asceticism, birth, death, change, creation, destruction, and ganja.
Are drugs essential as an element of this society and of this enlightenment?
I think, again, it's an evolutionary thing that man has developed a chemical which can, like LSD, which can expand his consciousness. And this is, this is an evolutionary thing. Man, through science, has evolved something which will lead him on to greater heights.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small.
We'd rather disassociate ourselves with politics and politicians as they are, except, of course, when they make ridiculous laws and legislate in rather stupid ways, and it affects the individual. Then we obviously, as individuals, have to try to do something about it.
Our whole philosophy can be summed up in one word, and that's love. All you need is love.
Me and other so-called Negroes go 10,000 miles away from home here in America to drop bombs and bullets on other innocent brown people who's never bothered us. And I will say directly, no, I will not go.
You better get you some guns. Don't you forget it. They scared of my rifle. Wait till I get me an atomic bomb.
Black power means to us a means to obtain three things: self-determination, self-respect, and self-defense. Just like Americans did against your people, the British. After they had exhausted these ways through Parliament, then they said, praise the Lord, and passed the ammunition.
This is going to happen all over America. It's going to be a hot world, not a hot summer. It's a hot world. They're going to kill 22 million Negroes.
On a Sunday afternoon, really couldn't get away too soon. I can't imagine anything that's better. The world is ours whenever we're together. There ain't a place I like to be instead of moving.
Vive le Québec! Vive le Québec libre!
Anything we like to do. There's always lots of things that we can see. We can be anyone we like to be. All those happy people we could meet.
Their final hour.
You're hearing things.
You're hearing things
On Wonderful Radio London.
Big L time is 3 o'clock and Radio London is now closing down.
Woke up one morning half asleep with all my blankets in a heap and yellow roses scattered all around. I
beneath the cold North Sea, nature has filled a vast storehouse of warmth for our comfort. The flame from the sea is high-speed gas, and it means more and more heat for everyone.
I could have done the right thing. All of that boozing, I was really losing good time. Yes, yeah, we all are having a jolly good time, and everything is working out fine. Ha 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 ha.
Well, I think it's a damned infringement on the liberty of the citizen. Normally I have a beer and perhaps a couple of scotches. Now I'm reduced to this bloody awful drink, lemon and shandy.
Good sense, innocence, grip of mankind. Dead kings and many things I can define. Occasions pass, what is clutter your mind. Innocence and purplements, the color of time. Who cares what games we choose? Little to win, but nothing to lose.
How big a wrench was it for you to leave the United States?
It's a very difficult thing to do. I've thought about it for a good year and a half, day in and day out before I ever left, and it's a tough thing. One can't go back to the United States, but then maybe one never can go home again in a sense. But then I have to do what I think is right, and that's just it. I have to do what I think I should do.
From now on, the pound abroad is worth 14% or so less in terms of other currencies. That doesn't mean, of course, that the pound here in Britain, in your pocket or purse or in your bank, has been devalued.
The first indications came this afternoon of higher prices. Petrol. Shell say it seems certain to go up because crude oil will be dearer, but it's impossible to say when. The bakers say a rise in the price of bread is pretty well inevitable. Imported wheat will cost more.
Through the mirror of my mind, time after time, I see a reflection of you and